So this morning my plan is to get my first run in the Boston 12. Honestly, since this half marathon, I haven't really been feeling these morning runs. It's been a bit difficult to turn that knob and get out of the door. So this morning my wife suggested that I hit a different route than normal. Ever since we moved into this neighborhood 6 months ago, I've been loving just running around this neighborhood because it's so spacious. There's a golf course, there's so many beautiful things to look at, but it feels like I'm getting a little bit stagnant with my routes in here. So I'm gonna head across town to this Greenway. When I first started running, I ran pretty much exclusively on the greenways. Charlotte has a beautiful system of these paved trails that we call greenways down here, which are great for running. Whenever I go to one of these greenways, I have a fantastic run. So hoping that clears my head a little bit, gets me back in the groove, and is a good testing ground for the new Boston 12. And happy Monday. Now I got to the bagels last this morning and this is what the kids left me. That's messed up. Breakfast of champions though. Now whenever I leave the house to go run, I like to take my recovery drink and food with me so that it's sitting there waiting in the car, because that 30 to 45 minute period after you finish running is the most crucial to get those nutrients in. It's the most crucial to setting yourself on the path to success for good recovery. So today I'm gonna do the Tailwind Vanilla Recovery Mix. I'll do 2 scoops of this guy, and then I recently added into my recovery drink some creatine. There's benefits for strength and power for lifting, but there's also some benefits for running. I decided to add it back in because I want to add a little bit more strength in the gym, which I'm adding back in this week. And then there's also just those benefits of hopefully some reduced muscle fatigue, a little bit more than you would get without the creatine in some of those longer strength style workouts out there on the roads running. So I'll mix this guy up and I'll have it waiting for me in the car after I'm done with my run this morning. So I just laced them up. Honestly, the toe box and fit is a lot more generous than I anticipated. I have a lot more room in the toe area, and the midfoot isn't as narrow as the Audi Zero SL, so that is a great sign. So, but to go out here and do 8 miles aerobic, it's 65 degrees. It's gonna be high of 83 today. Would usually pop the shirt off, but this Greenway is very busy. Don't wanna be scaring any people out here, so shirt is likely gonna stay on. Let's get it. All right, let's try that again. I was getting a little bit of heel slip in the first mile there, so tightened up the top of these laces and hopefully we should be good to go. Hopefully the third time is the charm. just finished those 8 miles. I ended up pushing the pace a little bit. I was planning on doing just kind of an aerobic run at 145, 150-ish heart rate, but shoes felt good, so I progressed the pace all the way down to 6:04 minutes per mile, which is my half marathon pace. Ended up averaging 6:42 minutes per mile at a 169 beat per minute heart rate, which is really high. I feel like I'm in a valley of recovery right now because I just ran that race 9 days ago, and I don't think I've gotten my aerobic fitness back yet from the taper, and then last week I had a down mileage week. Overall, the shoes felt pretty good. You could see there in the beginning, it took me 3 times to get the lacing and the lockdown right, but once I did, felt pretty solid on the foot. Honestly, this has a lot more room in the toe box and in the general upper than I had thought. A lot of these Adidas shoes that I'd been running in, like the Takumi-san and the Adi Zero SL, which both are the same size as these for me, 10.5 US men's, were a lot snugger. This felt really comfortable. There was lots of room. Honestly, it felt like it ran a little bit long in the toe box, if anything. Once I warmed up into the run, this was really responsive. I started off around 7 minutes per mile flat, then I progressed down to a 6 minute per mile flat pace, which for me is around half marathon pace. This felt great in that marathon to steady pace range, but it's one of those shoes that it gives you as much as you put into it. So it's not like an endorphin speed 3 where you run at any pace and it's super bouncy and out of control and you feel like you're going really fast even if you're going at a recovery pace. This is a shoe where you gotta push it and you gotta put something into it to get off that energy return back. I really like that feeling. I like feeling like I'm in control of the shoe, like I'm working the shoe. I don't like feeling like the shoe is doing the work of running for me, and luckily this does not do that. This is right in that sweet spot between a daily trainer and a tempo shoe, and it runs a lot more like a daily trainer than I expected it to, at least out of the box. Maybe it's gonna need to take some time to soften up a little bit and give me a little bit more bounce back, but it feels a little bit more like a daily trainer than it does feel like a race day shoe or a tempo shoe. I didn't quite feel the effects of the rods in that Light Strike Pro as much as I'd anticipated. I did feel that Light Strike 2.0 deadening that bounce a little bit and giving some stability, which in a daily trainer type shoe is great. It did feel pretty stable, it did feel pretty grounded, and overall runs a bit on the firmer side versus something soft like the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3. I'm really excited to get some more miles in these. I think I'll bring them tomorrow for my 3x2 miles workout with Cam. I'll probably be running that around his pace because I'm still in a valley of recovery right now. So around 6:30 to 6:40, which is a bit slower than my marathon pace right now. So I'll do an update after that run and let you know how it goes with these tomorrow. For now, time to get that recovery shake in and then head home and post this video for you guys. Alright guys, just got home. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with another video tomorrow.